Tonight, students at New Diana are proving it's never too early to make a change. Their National Junior Honor Society chapter just received a rare grant that allows them to fix a problem in their community. As KLTV7's Katie Parker reports, for them, it's the pet population.
This is going to help a lot of people and solve the overpopulation we've been having.
These middle schoolers are helping solve real-world issues early. With what they've learned through community service, New Diana's National Junior Honor Society is creating change.
We've volunteered before the Longview Animal Care and Adoption Center, and they have this demonstration where one dog, if it goes unspayed or unneutered, then they can end up reproducing over and over and over again. Stray dogs is a big problem in Diana.
Through a student-led grant application, they secured $1,000 to go towards service in their area.
We were looking through what we really needed as a community and what would help us. When we got the grant, we realized Diana didn't have an opportunity to help animals, stray dogs, stray cats.
We preach to these kids. We really strive to educate the public, but especially this younger generation come up. To see these young kids become that active, that young, they wanted to be part of the positive, part of the change.
So they decided to fund spay and neuter procedures for animals owned by New Diana residents.
I think the service to the community is very important because that's what gets everything going.
To watch them come up with an idea that is going to impact people right here where we live, it just made me well up with pride. I'm very proud of them.
With the money, they'll be able to cover 9 pet surgeries.
It's just like rewarding just to see the change that is made throughout and how it affects people's lives, because it really does.
Katie Parker, KLTV 7 News.
Well, look at them. With the remaining grant money, the students will educate other New Diana campuses on proper animal care and Texas pet laws. This Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30, the students are partnering with the FFA program to host a free dog wash and $10 rabies vaccine clinic. That's awesome.